way people play with people intelligence, the way they play with people intelligence and intellect, you know, the way they do today. You know, people are telling lies for a living. You know what I mean?
To me, a nigga who pick who he be fight with.
Right.
Like if you sit there and you go, oh, I'm not going because this.
I won't for him, but
I think I can take him.
Right.
You want to fight the
You're stuck on stupid, right?
Yeah.
You're stuck on stupid, and you're not using your powers or access to powers that you have. You're looking at it as a negative versus a positive. You know, we all know if you can tap into good people wherever you go.
Wherever, yeah.
But I mean, it's a blessing, really.
Tony Yayo just pulled up on Jay Prince and blasted what could be the biggest extortion move hip-hop's ever seen. Jay Prince tried to hit 50 Cent with that whole check-in hustle, but instead of bowing down, 50 straight up aired him out and dared him to make a move. What started as some quiet side-eye between them just blew up into a straight-up war between Houston's Street Muscle and G-Unit's Militant Squad. This beef wasn't brand new, though. It had been bubbling under the surface for years, just waiting to explode. But to really break down this madness, we gotta rewind and see how 50 Cent and Jay Prince even ended up in this mess. Jay Prince, the boss behind Rap-A-Lot Records, is like the OG blueprint of a real street shot caller. He runs Houston like a silent storm, never making too much noise, but always staying in full control. In H-Town, people don't just respect Jay Prince, they fear him.
Maybe we need to change the word for the youngsters. The checking in part, you know, is they seem to get hung up on that word, checking in.
Yeah.
So if we could diversify that word and bring it up to a 2021 thing.
Right. What's the word, OG? What's the word?
Maybe we may want to tell them they need to get connected.
And it ain't because he's out here wilding, it's because his name rings bells heavy. For decades, if you were an artist pulling up in Houston and didn't check in, you might leave without your chain, or something even worse. Beefing with Ja Rule, Irv Gotti, and the whole Murder Incers crew, 50 Cent built his name off never backing down. Not once. G-Unit wasn't just a label. It was a movement built on a militant code. No checking in, no kissing rings, and for sure, no paying for protection. That attitude set the tone from the jump.
Came to the city of Houston, but he didn't just come here to live. He has been helping out on so many causes in this city. And especially, he has been in our high schools, turning our high school students into entrepreneurs with his Unity Camp program. I've seen him firsthand. This city has been elevated because of his presence. And so today, we have the honor of saying to him, he's our 2022 Grand Marshal. Give it up to Curtis 50 Jackson. Now, before I call on him to speak, let me present you first a key to the city of Houston. Anywhere you go, 550 buildings, use the key, the door will swing wide open.
So, when whispers started flying about 50 possibly relocating to Houston, people already knew it was about to spark a serious turf war, because if 50 Cent showed up in H-Town and didn't check in with Jay Prince, that's a straight up power move, a full clash of the titans. And guess what? That's exactly what went down. At first it stayed a long distance Cold War. 50 was in New York doing what he does best, trolling and making noise, while Jay Prince was in Houston running things like the city's underground mayor. They threw shots from a distance but never touched down on each other's turf until 50 casually dropped a bombshell on Twitter. "I love New York, but I live in Houston now. I'll explain later," he posted. Just like that.
Like, I got out there, they showed me a lot of love. But Shreveport had the infrastructure already here. Like, even the tax incentive was put back.
Well, yeah. And so a lot of people have been talking about, man, he's here only because they gave him a cheap deal or something like that. The reality is there's more to that deal than that. Way more.
They can't see
Break that down.
I'm spending $20 million this year anyway, in the same building that they're saying was the cheap building.
Right.
So find somebody else to.
And trust, 50 didn't make that move for clout. He had a plan, and it was all business. New York taxes were choking his paper, so Houston was a no-brainer. Less taxes, bigger space, and a booming hip-hop wave ready to be tapped into. Plus, Branson Cognac needed a southern home base, and Houston's liquor scene was exploding. 50 had a full vision: plug into the culture, push his brands heavy, and bring real entertainment money back to the city. But here's where it all flipped. He didn't check in. Jay Prince allegedly took that as pure disrespect. Word on the street is Jay Prince sent his people to remind 50 how things are supposed to go down. Word on the street was Jay Prince even tried to get 50 to cough up some cash for street protection. But 50? Nah, he wasn't having none of that. He made it real clear to his camp. G-Unit rolls with their own security, and they don't pay nobody just for respect. Things got real heated, real fast. Jay Prince allegedly tried to hit 50 with a no-fly zone over Houston, basically telling him, "You're not welcome here." Now let's be real. That no-fly zone move might scare smaller artists, but 50 Cent, he's built different. He jumped on Instagram and trolled Jay Prince like it was a full-blown reality show promo. Memes, slick captions, shady little subliminals. 50 clowned the whole thing like it was light work. He wasn't about to bow down to no street politics. He even straight up dared Jay Prince to make a move. But behind the scenes, things were getting ugly. 50 had been making big moves. He was building a $20 million G-Unit film and TV studio right there in Houston. This wasn't just another flex. It would have brought real jobs, internships, and serious buzz to the city. But just like that, the whole project got yanked and moved to Shreveport, Louisiana, a major win lost for Houston, all because some egos couldn't stay in check. Officially, 50 said he moved the project because the infrastructure was better in Shreveport. But if you're really paying attention, you already know what went down. The street politics in Houston were getting way too messy, and 50 wasn't about to start dancing with snakes. He played it smart and kept it pushing. And here's where the story gets straight up poetic. Jay Prince might have tried to push 50 out, but Houston wasn't riding with that plan. By 2022, just a year after 50 first touched down in the H, the city wasn't just letting him chill, they were celebrating him heavy. The mayor of Houston, Sylvester Turner, didn't just shake his hand, he handed 50 a literal key to the city. And if that wasn't enough, Turner declared November 24th officially 50 Cent Day during the annual Thanksgiving Day parade.
Came to the city of Houston, but he didn't just come here to live. He has been helping out on so many causes in this city. And especially, he has been in our high schools, turning our high school students into entrepreneurs with his Unity Camp program.
50 wasn't treated like some outsider. He was honored like a true hometown hero. Mayor Turner called him a philanthropist, an entrepreneur, and gave him major props for supporting high schoolers through his G-Unity program. The crowd went absolutely wild when they saw him. 50 was standing on that float like he was born and raised in H-Town, soaking it all in like a boss. But that wasn't even the full story. Through his G-Unity Foundation, 50 started giving back to Houston in major ways. We're talking turkey drives, toy giveaways, and dropping donations on schools like it was nothing. He even teamed up with the Houston Rockets, Texans, and Astros through his Sire Spirits brand, locking in heavy with the city's biggest names. In 2023 alone, 50 donated a wild $850,000 worth of toys to the community, and he didn't slow down. In 2024, he helped raise a crazy $500,000 for the Houston Children's Charity. And get this, he did it by auctioning off 2 giant bottles of his Le Chemin du Roi champagne at a charity event that pulled in a mind-blowing $6 million total. 50 wasn't just blending in, he was moving like the new mayor of H-Town. Meanwhile, Jay Prince was allegedly watching all this play out from the sidelines, like a king who just lost his crown. The same man who once ran the streets from the shadows now had to watch someone else getting love in broad daylight. And that's when Tony Yayo, G-Unit's loudest soldier, stepped into the mix. During a Vlad TV interview, Yayo finally spilled the real reason why G-Unit never played that check-in game. According to him, G-Unit always moved militant for a reason, because they knew the streets were full of setups and snakes. He had some real talk for people like 50. Tony Yayo broke it down, the whole check-in system. It's just a slick setup to line up rappers for extortion. You check in, you either pay up or you roll the dice and risk getting robbed. J. Prince built his whole legend off the idea that he was out here protecting artists when they came to Houston. He basically crowned himself the king of H-Town and set up this so-called friendly system called checking in. It sounded harmless on the surface, like it was just about respect, but when you really peeled it back, it was nothing but a glorified extortion hustle dressed up to look like street etiquette. The so-called rules were simple. If you're an artist pulling up to Houston, you're expected to check in with J. Prince, pay your respects, and by respects, they really meant run them pockets. Supposedly, it was all about keeping you safe, making sure if your chain went missing, it somehow found its way back to you. But if you didn't check in, that's when things got real messy. Tony Yayo didn't hold back. He even brought up Pop Smoke's death as a cold warning. When artists don't lock down real security and instead trust these shady street alliances, they become easy targets. Yayo made it loud and clear. Street protection always comes with strings attached, and if something pops off, don't expect anyone to save you. Nobody's stepping in once it gets ugly out there. He even dropped a heavier warning. All this mob ties talk and gangster flexing ain't slick anymore. We're not in the 90s. If you're playing mafia-level extortion games in today's world, you're basically begging for the feds to come knocking with RICO charges. Yayo said it plain and simple. G-Unit didn't play them games. They'd rather stay dangerous and self-reliant than owe a single favor to street dudes hiding dirty agendas. And here's where it really gets ugly. NBA YoungBoy pulled up to Houston on some business moves. He refused to check in, and next thing you know, his spot gets hit. Chain's gone.
Don't turn me down. What you said? Don't turn me down. What you on, folks? Don't turn you down. Yeah, man. What you on, folks? What you mean what I'm on? What you on, nigga? What the deal there? What up? What up? You want to buy your shit back or what? You ain't get you flunked out ass little nigga. I'm trying to see where you at. You dumb mother. What you got? $20 out of car? Nah, nigga. You know what we got, nigga. Stop that cap.
You mad?
Motherfucker, capping, bro. They gonna believe anything. You want me to start my car? I just took a picture in the same car today with my little boy. You on these
cash missing, car keys snatched, just like that. Then out of nowhere, J. Prince pops up on Instagram playing the hero, claiming he got NBA YoungBoy's stolen goods back. But instead of handling it low-key and calling YoungBoy directly, he blasted it all over Instagram like some 60-year-old clout chaser.
I got a call, you know what I mean, because the little homie YoungBoy place got broke into. People went in his place, disrespected different things, and I got a call about it. And the little homies that went into this place want to make that right because they understand that, you know what I mean, YoungBoy family is okay with me. And as you can see, homie, to make a long story short, I got your keys to your Rolls Royce, I got your keys to your McLaren, you know, all that shit that they took, and the homie, Shakur, what you got, homie?
You got your Rolls Royce umbrellas, you got your keys, you got a bunch of other shit, so.
YoungBoy wasn't having it. He clapped back hard. He said straight up, if Prince was really trying to help, he wouldn't be doing it for likes and views online.
Hey, I don't want no friends, I don't want no new relationships. All that, hey, I don't respect none of that shit, man. If you got something for me, man, they got plenty around me you could call. Man, nigga, it's plenty ways you can get in touch with me. Man, don't get on no internet and do nothing publicly. Don't do nothing dealing with no publicity, none of that pussy and shit. And I'm good on the keys, gangster. When you buy shit cash, two keys come with the car anyway. Man, you this, man.
Cameron and Mahe even jumped in, dragging J. Prince for acting like he still runs the streets like it's 1995. They called it out plain. Real OGs are supposed to uplift the young ones, not run shady extortion games and chase internet fame. And real talk, if you're still out here playing mob boss in your 60s, you already lost the game. Then there's the whole dice game situation, Jay Prince's second favorite hobby right after flexing intimidation tactics. These high-stakes games are legendary in Houston, but not for the right reasons. For years, whispers been flying that these dice games were straight-up setups, trapping rappers and celebrities who didn't move smart. And the most heartbreaking example? Takeoff. Everybody remembers how Takeoff tragically lost his life after one of those dice games spiraled into a deadly shootout. But according to the streets, it wasn't just some random bad luck. Sources say Jay Prince was salty because Takeoff and Quavo didn't check in the way he expected. Allegedly, he told his people to teach them a lesson. It was supposed to be just a little scare, a reminder not to move too freely, but it went all the way left and Takeoff's life was taken. The aftermath was ugly. Jay Prince dodged accountability like a seasoned pro. Every time someone tried to bring it up, he would deflect, mumble through answers, and downplay the whole situation like it was just one of those things. But everybody knew there was way more to the story.
Nothing should have happened. What do you say to that?
What I would say to that is, you know, I have a track record, man, and the Prince family have a track record of 30 plus years of, you know what I mean, honoring and loving on our guests and being with our guests, and no shit like this never happened. But here's the thing, and this is what people don't understand. We ain't never had nobody to attack us. If you know what I mean. You know, when a man attack a situation with a weapon, then, you know, it become a playing field where, you know, any and everything go.
Mike and Junior was walking by. He actually went in the restroom to wash blood off his hand where he had reached up under Takeoff. He had to pick him up and his fingers went in it. You know, why blood?
He pretty much admitted he destroyed evidence, just slipped it out like it was nothing. And guess what? Takeoff wasn't the only victim in this dirty game. Remember Duke the jeweler? He won $100,000 in a dice game, probably thinking he had the best night of his life. But before he could even make it back to his car, he got ambushed, robbed, and tragically killed. Just like that, another talented black man gone way too soon. Over what? Rigged games and a crooked so-called code of honor. When you stack all this madness next to what 50 Cent is out here doing, building community centers, feeding families, and putting real money back into the city, it's not even a debate who's really putting on for Houston. One man is out here building a real legacy, creating opportunities, changing lives. The other, still trying to keep the streets locked down with old school fear tactics that should have been dead a long time ago. And 50's not just out here clowning for laughs anymore. Word is, he's allegedly stacking up evidence too. He's playing chess while these old street games are stuck in the past. Word on the streets is, 50's been moving quiet behind the scenes, talking to people, stacking up proof that this whole check-in system is nothing but a full-blown extortion racket. He's been dropping hints about the feds possibly stepping in, and if that happens, it's game over. 50 plays chess, not checkers. And trust, he doesn't bluff. Right now, he's throwing out memes and slick captions, but behind closed doors, he might be building a real legal case or saving receipts for the ultimate knockout. All it's gonna take is one post, one leak, one tip to the feds, and Jay Prince's whole empire could come crashing down like a house of cards. One man got the streets scared, the other man got the city in the palm of his hand, but only one of them is winning the real war. 50 didn't just move to Houston, he took it over. While Jay Prince was allegedly trying to scare artists away, 50 pulled up, got the key to the city from the mayor, and started building programs that actually helped real people. And now, that whole check-in empire might be standing on its last shaky leg. So tell us, who really runs Houston now? The street boss hiding in the shadows, or the man who's got the city throwing parades for him? Let us know what you think in the comments. Is 50 Cent going too far, or is he the hero hip-hop needed to finally expose the dark side of the game? Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and don't miss what's coming next, because it's only getting messier from here. See you on the next one.